The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits. What's happening in Octonation tonight? We're going to look at a SPAC-heavy chart analysis for the ending of Friday. We had a rocket ship today, and the day before. This was SPAC week, if you ask me. There was stuff flying up and flying down and flying back up. People were getting depressed. People were celebrating. What a fantastic week, right? We're going to dive into quite a few. We're going to start right off with the Patreon user, Richard Holcomb. He said, hey, take a look at CCXX. We're going to take a look at that. CCXX. Are you guys in this? This is a SPAC. Everything's already separated. The warrants and the commons are out. We've already got a merger LOI in the near future. The place they are merging with is an insurance company called Multiplan, and they are kind of middleman for insurance. We talked about them a bunch, but I like the play other than the fact it's medical and insurance, which are kind of boring-ish. They don't hype well. And that's why the stock has kind of just been kind of doing that. But it's holding itself fine. I think this will be fine once the non-SPAC people start hearing about it and really looking at the numbers, because it's one of those ones where you look at the numbers and you're like, holy Toledo, these guys are making a ton of money. So let's find out if we can't draw any lines that might tell us a story of what the future might hold. Usually we've talked about a lot of SPACs, they start doing that big U shape where they start out small and then they zoom up because they got a cool LOI, and then they zip back down and everyone starts freaking out, and then they bottom up and start going back up. This one kind of had that, but it just wasn't as drastic, wasn't as big, but we still kind of had that. Check it out. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We had this big, the zoom up, then the rezoom, then kind of a resume again. It's been pretty parabolic at the beginning, but it only made it all the way up to 1290 by the big timers, throwing down 10 million at a time. But since then, the highest only got is about 1220, so we'll just call it about that. It has just rode down, got all the way almost to the floor at $10.16. Anyone buy it for that? Put your name down in the comments, or we're going to give you a high five. Good job on that. Then it started coming back up. It's riding its channel. What do we have here? Just kind of a pendant. It doesn't really tell us too much other than the fact that we need to break some of these channels, right? At one point, these lines were drawn in. I can see definitely the 1160 we need to get past, but this is one of those ones that it's just kind of sketchy. It's not a hype stock. I mean, I like to see stuff that has run up to like 15, 18 or whatever, and then you back down, because that proved that we can get to 18. This one only got to like 1290. It hasn't proven a huge success and huge want, but I might have some money parked in here. I might not. Do you? I still think it's a decent place to have some money. I wouldn't definitely be parking all my money in it whatsoever. Long-term play, if you want to hold this for long-term, I think it could be awesome. Like I said, once it finally merges, I think it can do really well. Are we going to have a run-up before merger? I think maybe a little bit. I don't think it's going to go past 20, I guess. Could we get closer to 15? I don't see why not. This hasn't been too long since announcement. What are we looking at? About the 13th of July, August, September. It's been 2.5 months, so I don't know. Probably Q4, beginning of Q4 we could have. Regardless, if you're going to get into this or you want to, it is sitting pretty low at the channel. You could get in here. I don't know. If you're long, maybe get in small, and then if you want to put another buy-in above this pendant here, try to catch it on the wave up. That way it doesn't just sit here and do nothing and fizzle out and you die. You don't. The last thing you want to do is that. I think it's all right. It's kind of like a low medium play. The volume you can see down here isn't really doing too much either. It's kind of just been fizzling out. We've had a couple bumps, but until the chart tells us anything else, right now it's chilling in the pendant. The pendants are slightly bullish though, so that's good. Next one we're going to take a look at is from Tasman 1022. What up, Tasman? Let's look at LAC. What is LAC? LAC. LAC. This is Lithium Americas Corp. So I'm guessing he's talking about this one because of the whole Tesla talking about lithium. They're going after lithium. All the lithium kind of stocks are kind of rising up a little bit. This is a pretty decent play. I have another one in mind right when I read what it was though. It's had a decent run up. Let's look at the big boy chart. LAC. All right, so back in March we're at 215. It has 4x money if you were in from back there, which is a big run. I don't like that it's 4x from back then, but this is kind of normal, I guess, for some miners. About 4xing from March. It's probably about normal. The highs were up to 1121. What do I see off the bat? Not too much, man. It's kind of just sitting in a weird spot. I do see a little bit of a gap. Let's draw in a array here. I'm going to use this top. This got tagged twice here at 911. Maybe a slight gap, a little bit lower. We did gap down here, so we can use that. And in fact, it's sitting, there you go. It's sitting right at the bottom channel of this gap here. Let's draw another ray in. Try to smack it from back here. So that's actually where it's chilling right now. So it gapped down back in September 22nd. It gapped down. Pretty much everything did though. So take this with a grain of salt, whatever happened right here. This is just kind of the whole market kind of going down. It looks bullish, when you zoom out. From the big picture, it looks bullish. It's still consolidating though at this gap we had, right? I don't see anything in the past that hold that up either. I mean, you've definitely got a line here though that we don't want to get to, which is going to be here. Get hit at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times here, and that's going to be at $8.18. It's so basically it's right now we're sitting in this channel technically, and it's technically in what looks like a bear flag, meaning it should be slightly. I mean, you're gonna wrap a triangle around this thing. It's gonna put us in a slight bear flag, kind of. I wouldn't think too much about it. The problem is it's just chilling in this channel. The good thing is we're aware of it now. It's slightly bearish looking. So what needs to happen? This needs to get above where it's at. I don't know where you're at. I don't know if you're looking to take an entry or what, but if I were to be getting in this and I'm not currently in it, I'd be putting in a buy probably 50% of the way from this 1856 to 911, which would put me at around 885 or something. I might put a buy in, or I might even go more aggressive and more conservative, safer. I'll pay more for it, but gladly, because the last thing I want is to get faked out and then take a ride down, to put me up to like $9.35 to get above this other channel, because this one at 911 is a heavy line that you need to pay attention and we need to get through. Until you get through this, I wouldn't call this too insanely bull. I mean, we had a nice run up. I'm guessing this is from the battery day. Yeah, this is probably the battery day run up. And it went down and tagged. See this gap right here? That started out at the beginning of when the battery day stuff was talking about on September 11th, September 14th. Watch this thing here, right around there. Got a line at like $7.23. A better one at like $7. It tagged it back here at the gap, the beginning of the gap, and then it came back down. But we're definitely above that. We're in a U shape. This could be what's called like the cup and handle pattern though. Remember the chip from Beauty and the Beast turned him sideways, and he's gonna have the handle. This is gonna be the handle of the cup. If this kind of comes down and hits this channel of 819, watch it, because it could be bouncing straight up, and that's where it's going to go and rocket again. I would say though, because of this run that it had because of battery day, how high was it? The battery day run, let's just call it about 40%. Was this named as a source for Tesla? I don't know. Let me down in the comments. I don't think it would be. I think if Tesla would have put their name on it, probably would have done a lot more than what it did here, even though we had a 40% run up, get people excited about battery day. Did he say he's going to source lithium from all over the United States or all over the world or whatever? Let me know that too. That way we can kind of put a better thesis together. But I don't know. We need to hear about catalysts. We know about any more catalysts going on, because right now, honestly, it looks like unless there's another catalyst, this should be riding about where it's at, about $8. So I don't see why it should go up to this $11 again unless we have a catalyst. That's what I'm thinking on that. Next one we're going to look at is Plug by Kryptonite. Tasman asked for that one again. So we got Plug. Y'all see my video on Plug Power. This is an alternative energy play. So back in August, we had a run up also. I think, so what happened here? It just looks like it's gotten topped out. Again, this is one that is just kind of waiting for a catalyst. I was in this one and got tagged out, I think down here. I think that's what happened. Took a little loss on it, which is fine because look, now I can buy it way cheaper. And if it gets back to where it's going, then it'll be good, right? So let's see if we can't draw at least like a pendant around this, maybe coming off of here. Let's see. Yeah, we've probably got like a big pendant coming, which is cool. Could go all the way back to there. Make this one green because we want to get to it. Yeah, so I mean, this is sitting at I'd call it a good entry point if you're long this company. You know, if you think that this company definitely has a long future and all that, this is probably good. Why? Because it's sitting at close to the bottom of this red channel here. Could this roll over, smash to this, and then go to $4 or something? Maybe, but probably not. I don't think it's one of those companies that what's going to happen to it. You know, I mean, like what bad catalyst could ever come out with a safer battery play? I don't know. Someone slips and falls, I don't think it's going to be too big of a thing, and the batteries don't really blow up. So I think we might be fine. I think this might be a good entry if you're long. You know, to confirm another bull run though, you got to break this triangle. You know, you got to break probably like 1350-ish to get us into I'd call it like a confirmed bull. If it comes down to confirm it, you want to see price action like this. Okay, you want to see something break a channel. Oops. So you want to see something break a channel like this, and then you want to see it come back down and tag this again, and then you want it to see it up. So this is basically reconfirming now that we are using this as support now instead of resistance. So once we decide to change this line here to red, the second time, once we pass it once, smack it, and then come back up, that's where you want to enter it. You want to enter it like here, right? After it comes up, retags it, because usually it'll kind of come up and then kind of come back down and then come back up and then do straight bull up. So I'll just watch this one again, you know, for a catalyst. Until then, if you are long, I think this looks like a good entry, but y'all let me know anything else going on with it. I don't know. So now we're going to take a look at from Kryptonite. He said he seconds lax, so we already looked at that. We're going to look at Blink. I think this is still going to get love from SBE. Why? Because they're brothers from another mother, you know. So this is the commons. They actually have warrants of these. This might be a better warrant play. I don't know which one you're in, if you're in these commons or what. Could we have gotten a channel from down here? Whenever you see like a perfect 45-degree cutoff angle, like from these three right here, you definitely want to draw that in too. A lot of times it'll connect. It looks like it connected right at the gap up. Yep, look at this. See over here, it tagged it, coming down, gap down, refilled the gap. Now it's coming back up, and then it gapped up through the gap. Got a gap really where it's sitting. And then look at this. It used it 1, 2, 3, 4 times coming down at the exact 45-degree angle. This has been pretty aggressive with these gaps though. We're only sitting at the 1 hour. So what do I think? You know, this is the one that they got that bad news come out where the dude was like, I looked at some of them, they have spider webs on them. It's terrible. And then he was saying they don't have as many charges as they said they do. I don't think he ever proved it. I mean, he took a bunch of pictures or something. They said that they can refute it, and they do have proof that they do have all the charging stations that they say they do. If they can ever come out and prove that, then great. I don't know if they already have. I haven't followed this one too much, but I know they did come out with something saying, hey, we can refute this, we'll prove it. So what does it look like from here? It's kind of just in that consolidation point again. I mean, it's sitting like literally right at this green line we already had drawn in. We can make it red because we don't want to get below it now because we're slightly above it. But it's just chilling. I mean, what got it to sky from here to here? I don't know. Did they get like a big contract or something? What made it go on July 28th to 15 bucks? What catalyst was that? Whatever that catalyst is, we need that catalyst again and figure out when the next one is, or potentially is. It's technically, it's sitting above this right here though. So that's good. We've broken above it. Remember what I was talking about the last one about retesting it? So technically this has come up, it retested and failed, so it went back down, right? But then it went up, retested, rejected up. You see this red here? So it tried coming back down, it basically smacked it again, went back up, came back down, smacked it again. And so when it keeps getting rejected one or two times or three or four times, that's just proving it more and more that, hey, it's gonna try to stay above this big line here, right about, let's call it like $8.45. So as long as we can stay above that, you're good. If I was already in this, I would put a sell order probably below this gap right here. Man, this thing is just gapping all over. It's got a gap here, gap over here, gap here. Holy Toledo. Maybe like $7.80 or something to protect yourself. I'm writing my stop loss, my stop sells and stuff pretty tight. I'm even doing like 3 or 4 or 5% stop, trailing stops, stuff like that. Because you don't want it to break this and then be able to go all the way down to the 642, this other line here. But as long as it stays above this, the 840, 45-ish, I think we'll be good to go and hopefully get another bull run. I think that news, that thing that came out, it's people are already forgetting about it. I know the warrants were riding high. Let's look at the warrants. The warrants were jamming, yeah. Yeah, so the warrants, after that bad news, they got down like 55, 60% here, and then they rode up a decent amount, like 30-ish%, came back down, now they're doing their consolidation right at a gap also. Right there. But look, oh, watch this. Come all the way back to here. Look, it tags this, tags that run up, top of the gap, another gap, bottom of the gap. Tags it, reconfirmed it twice. So I mean, this technically, it kind of looks like the common where it's done the same thing. It went back up, it sliced back through it, it came back down, and then it got rejected trying to come back down again. So to me, these look like they're ready for the next bull. What is this other blue line here? Do you guys see that? Oh, it's just moving weird. Okay, yeah. So I mean, post market's still sitting the same. So on this one, as long as we stay above this $4.56, I think we're good. So just watch that line right there. I don't know if you're in the warrants or not, but take a look at that. Next, we're going to look from Jay, Lifeversity. He's got a YouTube channel. He's been supporting us since like day one. He said, hey man, the SPY looks like it's headed up to retest the 3328 support at the 2 hour. Hopefully we don't get a drop after that. Let's look at SPX. This is actually the SPX. The SPX is basically the SPY-ish, but they're the S&P 500, but it has a lot less volume. Most people go off the SPY because there's way more people in it, way more volume. The SPX it's kind of the same index, but it's just a different side of it. The other one trades for around like 332, and this one's trading at like 3,300. So what did he say to watch for? He said the 3,328. Let's take a look. 3,328. Yeah, I can see that. See, this is what I want everyone to come and help out. Shoot stuff like this out. We have a gap even below that though. It's not lining up perfect on this. That's the other reason why the other one, it's good to reference them both, the SPY and the SPX, because sometimes you see stuff that the others don't show you. But he's saying basically, we're headed to this, can we break it? So far we didn't today. We got rejected though. You see how this was rejected? And this is on the 22nd we rejected. Was that Monday or Tuesday? Went back down, sliced through, faked out the bears. People are putting in the shorts, which is good. So we have that line at 32.30. As long as we stay above that, we're in consolidation. We're technically not in, I wouldn't call this a bull or bear. This is actually healthy though. It slightly looks like what happened over here at the beginning of September when we had this nasty waterfall, it looks about the same as that, right? Doesn't it look almost exactly the same? So hopefully this isn't preparing us for another leg down, but it definitely could be. I would say just for now, you know, we could draw in another line even there. I would say just watch this. So, you know, watch this 3,230. If we break that again and then retest, and then if it retests, so you can retest the other way too. So if it comes down, retests, and then gets denied again and goes down, it's not good, man. You know, I was talking the other day, like, wouldn't the best way to fake everyone out is to just slowly climb down to demise? You know, instead of like a rug pulling out from underneath your feet, what if they did it where it just like every week they did these high volatile run-ups, you know, for the SPY. We're getting these like 3% spikes up and down every other day, every 2 days. That's super aggressive. But what if they did that all the way down till we're below March or something? That'd be just terrible, man. This next line here, though, is pretty darn massive. You know, we drew this one out. We showed these 3 massive times we've used it back here in the past. But next week will tell us a story, you know. I hope we can rally and stay above this, because if we can rally and stay above that, like he was saying, the 33.27, I think we'll be in good shape. But right now, you know, we've got these 2 gaps here that are messing with it too. In fact, it's sitting right at a gap. See that gap? Basically right there. The 32.98, 32.99, 3200 flat. We need to get above it. So again, you know, I'd still caution you guys, you know, if you're not 90% sure about a stock right now, I just wouldn't touch it. It's not worth it. Unless you're getting into common SPACs, then go for it, as long as you're getting them around $10, right? Because then what's going to happen to you? Nothing. It might go down 1%, 2%, 3%, big deal, right? Good place to park some money. So we're looking at the SPY. Let's take a look at we've got to look at QQQ. We have to. Let's take a look at QQQ. Looks the same as SPY. We got the Wu-Tang going on, the upside McDonald's W, McDonald's M, I mean. This could be like a setup, maybe like a head and shoulders thing. Like if this breaks, same trajectory, let's call it as where we're just at, right? Like we want it to stay above this line here at 270, let's call it. If it breaks this and then breaks all the way past these 2 lines here, you know, for sure we're going bull. And at that point, you might want to take out your directional ETFs we talked about. Like, remember that video? Y'all seen it? What do you do when the market is crashing? Go watch that again to prepare yourself for next week if you haven't. Because we got to be prepared. Like, you know, you could wake up Monday morning and this could be up maybe 1%, and all of a sudden just starts just going down, man. So at that point, we want to be prepared to even hedge ourselves. You know, technically this looks like it's sitting at the top of this channel. You know, it's going to make me draw another line, maybe right there. Make it green because we want to get to it. We want to get to it and through it. We want to get to that and through that. That is $272. We want to get past that. But the sucky part about this Wu-Tang here is it's rejected it. Look how many times it's tried to get through it. Doon. Come up here. Nope. Nope. We need to blast through that 272. You know, and it might be a good idea to hedge your account is to buy one of those. This would be a perfect time to buy one of those ETFs that we talk about that make it so if the stock goes down, the QQQ goes down, you make money. So you just buy a smallish position, smaller medium position-ish in that. Because since we're at the top of this might be a good idea to do that, to hedge your account. That way, if Monday everything starts tanking, you can already have your stop sells in because you put those in over the weekend or right after you bought them, right? Your percent, your trailing stops, whatever you're gonna do. But then you're gonna leave this one up because this one's gonna start making your money, because you're making money on the way down, you know? This might be a good time to just get that just in case. If we end up breaking bull and it's totally gets up, reconfirms it, and then keeps going, then go ahead and sell that inverse for now, until we get to about this channel, and then look at buying again. But because we're on the top of this, let's call it Wu-Tang W. Just be careful. Just be super careful. So JP on the road, he says, hey, the CEO of GP, which is GreenPower Motor Company, remember them? The CEO bought 10,000 shares on September 23rd, which is 2 days ago. Not in KLA, where insiders are selling off, but the total opposite. Yeah. So this is good news. I also drew out this chart today, put it on Twitter. If you're not on there, check it out. And I noticed a couple things. So first of all, the big red volume candles are big and high. That usually means that the bears are out of honey and they got to go back to hibernation because they are big and fat and they need to go get fatter for the winter and store it on up and grow them big old muscles. They're going back home. What does that mean? That means that the stock should be kind of starting heading up. Cool thing is we've still got another channel here that's giving us at least some sort of guide of what to do. If you are not in this or you just want to know what is going on, we need to break this green channel that has been just surfing beautifully down. This looks like a really good place to put an entry if you want to get in. We're basically half off of all-time highs. This was at hit 2309. It's now sitting at $11.20. Half off is good. Remember you buy stuff on you win on the buy side. That's where you make it, protecting yourself. But number one, you got to buy stuff right. If you don't buy it right, no matter how you protect yourself, you're still losing. So this might be a good place to enter. I'm not saying jump in at all. I'm saying wait for it to break this. If you want to get in, again, let it come up a little bit, re-smack it. If at that point it goes up and then goes up a little bit more, if you want to be safer, just put your buy in even higher and higher until we get to this next channel. Wait till it gets up here, and then wait till it smacks it again, and then buy, something like that. But I wouldn't be just like buying in here because it could still stay in this channel. It could still just keep going down this channel. This is kind of a sad story if you ask me. I mean, these guys were in the OTC, everything was going gravy. They're getting some deals and stuff. And then they decided they wanted to get on the New York Stock Exchange, I believe, NYSE. And right when they did it, man, the rug got pulled out from under them. Everyone just dumped their shares. It's one of those mental games. But then again, everything was kind of coming with it at that point. I think it wasn't Tesla going down at that point too, and they're doing their merger thing, their split. I don't know. Regardless, this went down chaotically, man. Went down bad. Anyone still in this one and held it from up above, or is everyone already out? Or are you just bag holding forever? You might be okay with this. Again, this one, I wish they'd talk a little bit more about last mile delivery stuff, because right now they're still talking about the school bus stuff, which is cool, but I don't know if schools right now are going to be spending money on green school buses, which they could. I don't know if schools are still getting the same amount of funding, and they could just be getting bored and like, let's spend this money. We don't have to pay for electricity at the schools right now because everyone's homeschooled. I don't know. Are they? Anyone in the school district knows any knowledge on that? Like, what's going on with the school money? That's what I want to know. I know the kids had to get laptops, but is that where the money's going? Do they have extra money to spend? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Any other plays y'all want me to take a look at? Any ones I totally missed? I just want to go over a lot of charts. We could keep going all night on this, but I got to cut this at some point. The basic thing people want to know right now is, are SPACs dead? No. SPACs are never, ever going to be dead. SPACs go up and down, right? They still have these like 6 to 8 week, let's call it, spikes up and down, And it's always when people start saying that, hey, SPACs suck, man. They didn't ever go up. This cool stuff happens. Forget all this. I'm just getting rid of everything. When you start hearing that chatter, that's when you should start buying. Okay. What happened a couple of days ago is the SPACs took a dump. Everything just went down, right? But we're thinking the catalyst might be this one person or article came out saying that the SEC might start investigating SPACs because of Nikola? I don't know. Was he the catalyst for them to say they might do something? Regardless, SPACs are Still one of the safest investments in the world, if not the best, if you buy the commons right up front. Can someone name something better? I can't. Not right now, at least not right now. You know, I just don't see a big long-term bear thesis at all ever playing out. You know, even compared to like IPOs. If the SEC was really going to do something about crazy volatile stocks, they do it for the tiny little penny stocks. They're going for like a cent or quarters of cents or whatever. Maybe those. But then look at the IPOs. Look at Snowflake. What are they supposed to open like 90 and they go to like 300 or something and then go 70% down or 100 down? I don't even remember, man. It's just crazy. SPACs, they're fine. You know, they're way safer. People lose a lot less money on these than they do brand new IPOs and penny stocks. If you are losing more money on these, we just need to go back to basics. Just start when SPACs aren't cool. You'll be good. All right. Any more plays you want me to take a look at, please put them down in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do it. It definitely helps out the channel. If you haven't subscribed to our Patreon, you can do it. Pick whatever you want, just sign up. Any questions you're going to have, you're always going to have precedence over everyone else. We'll get to your plays. You know, possibly do some videos if we get some good recommendations on there too. But I'll always get to it. I'm also sliding you guys some cool little entries and stuff here and there where there's like dumb parks for money right now out there and cool stuff. So y'all have a good rest of the day and let me know what you want me to take care of this weekend. I already got some videos lined up, but I'm always open to more ideas.
Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.